instead of one, yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
when we did last month. So, do we need a motion? Have a motion to change?
Motion to approve the agenda with the change.
Okay, have a second?
Okay.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Have a motion to approve the agenda now with the change?
Oh, that we just did that.
Oh,
It's all one fell swoop.
Okay,
Fell swoop.
okay, sorry. Okay, number 4, the minutes.
So moved.
So moved by Fiona. Have a second? Second, Pat. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Public participation, anybody? I have one public participation. This guy is a grandfather again. Lovely.
I didn't do anything.
Oh, you had to drive and all
I
that
drove,
stuff.
I watched the first one, yeah.
Yeah,
Tubby?
yeah.
I did, it was a little scary. I haven't done that in a long time.
Oh.
I wiped some places I haven't wiped at all.
And it's Cecilia
Renee,
Renee.
Cecilia Renee.
Get ready for when you turn 16, you have a gun or something to protect you.
I hope I'm around.
Oh, you'll be around. Any other public participations? Okay. First item, discussion and action on the trade recommendations from ONG. You have all those listed. Dan, you want to sit up here and
Do your thing.
Yeah.
That's all. Good evening, everybody. So yes,
before you start, I gave you 2 different motions. The first motion is for the building committee. The second motion is the board of ed. Correct?
Yep.
Yep.
And on that token, the motion that I distributed had language that I would like to replace because it doesn't correctly identify that what the building committee motion should say is make a recommendation for execution to the Board of Ed and to the City Council. So whomever makes that motion, I wrote some revised text.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so we've gone through the balance of our trade scope reviews. The remaining bid packages that are up for motion this evening represent the last of the bidding packages, with the exception of the general trades package. All contractors vetted well. Your low appearance, except in the case of the fire stopping, which he had to withdraw. He was essentially a third of the cost of the project and failed. And then the final cleaning bid package had a similar situation where the contractor was a set-aside small business. His bid was around 55,000, really an inappropriate number for the scope of the work. So we allowed those 2 contractors to withdraw, and we went with the next lowest qualified bidder.
You want to take each one out, each one separately? So what was the motion? Oh, okay. Yes, please.
This is
Thank you.
building committee motion.
Correct.
As a building committee motion.
Okay.
You can read my chicken scratch there.
Motion to execute the approval to award letters per recommendation by ONG Industries to the lowest qualified responsible bidder for the following bid packages and make the recommendation to the Board of Education and the City Council. Do we need to identify?
Yes, you should list each bid package.
Okay.
And
Bid
then
package 2.02 abatement and demolition. Bid package 2.05M miscellaneous metals. Bid package 2.06 millwork and lab casework. Bid package 2.07F fire stopping. Bid package 2.075 spray applied fireproofing. Bid package 2.09 painting. Bid package 2.12 window treatment. Bid package 2.13 final cleaning.
Have a second to that motion for the building committee? Pat? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
And then I'd like to put forth the same motion to the Board of Education.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Me and Kathy and Marissa.
The next one, discussion and action to reject all bids for bid package 2.10 general trades and authorize ONG Industries to rebid the revised package. The fellow who was low bidder came in, we did a scope review. He made a number of mathematical errors, I recall.
That's an accurate statement.
We asked him to come back with proof of those mathematical errors. He came back on the first page was beautiful, right?
I don't know if anything of it.
I know. And then he could not mathematically show us the difference in his bid. So we're asking to reject it, and we're gonna go out to bid after the city council. If you approve it, after you and the Board of Ed, and then city council will go out to bid. We're changing some of the scope. In that, you want to say something?
What,
Go ahead.
maybe more of a little bit of the detail of that bid package?
Certainly.
Just a little bit, not.
Yeah, so general trades picks up what is in the spec division system, mostly the division 10. So he's picking up a lot of the loose equipment and everything from the auditorium curtains right on through to hanging bathroom accessories. So a good portion of their scope of work is these products, and they provide some of their own labor as well as they do all the buyout for those division 10 products. Of the bid, that's probably about, $5.5 to $6 million worth of the bid. The balance of the bid, general trades has the responsibility for cleaning the project site. We had assigned as temporary protection and heating. And then they also provide a lot of the safety components. They provide temporary stairs. They provide, there'll be a scaffold system that's exterior to the existing gymnasium once we tear down the restrooms. So they provide a self-performed portion as well. So that's their general bid package. On bid day, we had carried an estimate of about 7.4 million for that package. And speaking to the estimator, then we got our bids, and we had bids 6.9, 8.8, and 11. So we knew the 11 was a throw it at it number. The $8.8 million bid was substantiated. We had a scope review, but we identified the very high cost items that we didn't carry in our estimate. So I worked that out with our estimating group. So what we really think is in the best interest of the city and of the project is to target that value that we carried as an estimate. We look closely at what we're carrying for these temporary facilities and the cleanup and the winter protection and the heat. And we've found ways to modify the scope of work. We have a better competitive bidding environment right now than we did, 8 weeks ago. So that's where we're hoping bids come in, tighter to that 7.7 million number.
We're also looking at the loose equipment. So I've contacted a number of suppliers. We're getting prices for budgetary, and one of the big items are the shop areas. And I found the company that's on the bid list, Roussier, and they have a distributor out of North Haven. I've been in contact with them today. I gave that number to Dan, so they're gonna give us pricing on that. They're in North Haven, so we're gonna look at that by tomorrow or latest on Monday.
Right, and so that's the type of product, like that's miscellaneous equipment. Those are lab tables, and that was one of the things that we, in our estimate, had carried as an FF&E cost, but in the bid documents that we put out on the street, we bought it. It was, it was known.
Shop
We knew
tables.
we were buying it, but we had carried around $180,000 number, where the trades had carried about a $340,000 number. And it's because we know that we always provide, like in your food lab, there's some stainless steel. There's sinks and things that we want to put in the construction package, but there's also loose tables like you'd find in an art room, just wide butcher block type tables. that typically can go towards FF&E. So in our analysis of how we rebid, some of those items we're proposing that get bought out as FF&E.
And that's what we're doing. That's what I'm finishing up. So we'll have that. Any other-
Motion.
Yeah, need a motion. So, have a second? Second. Pat and Gary?
Yep.
Any discussion, further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Board of Ed?
Same motion to the Board of Education.
So.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. John and Gary.
When's that rebid gonna happen?
We'll go out on the street on Tuesday following city council motion on the same. And we will return bids on December 6th.
Next item is the ONG guaranteed maximum price, the GMP, for the total project. You have a copy of that. GMP, Dave, you want to discuss what the GMP is, means, and or you want, Dan wants,
Yeah, it's, we went over this with the phase one GMP. Essentially, it's amending the AIA contract that we entered into with the city of Torrington, the Board of Education initially. At the time, there were various fees and rates set up, and this is really bringing to fruition everything, the full cost of it, all the trade costs, allowances, contingencies. It establishes dates of performance of the work within the GMP. The format for the GMP, which is the third page. In that
second page,
document.
second time.
Well, including the cover sheet, it's the third page. right?
Yeah, so,
Exhibit A1 goes through the format, which again, this is a similar format that you saw throughout the process as we're doing all the estimates. And it's now all inclusive of everything. So a couple of things to note that in the value for item 1 at the top, Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, in that 148 million is a placeholder that we have for the general trades.
correct.
So we have the 7-point-some-odd million.
$7.4 million is in there.
There are other allowances. And then item 4, as you remember at the last meeting, there was a lot of discussion about the efforts made to try to get the scope of work back within the budget. So we've established an allowance based on the values that were discussed with the trades and internally about what we felt the value of some of these cost savings measures were. So it's going to be an allowance so that it's going to help offset the fact that you're awarding contracts for a higher value than we really want them to be at the end of the day. So as we vet those changes, we will fund them from that VE allowance. And if we get more back than the 2.8, then that will also be credited. If we come up just shy, 2.75 million, we'll have to draw that from the contingency to offset that. So I would say the expectation there is within the first, say, 3 to 4 months of the project, we would want to try to reconcile all that and get that posted VE stuff out of the way and just.
Right. Well, the iron is hot.
That's right.
Where we met, Mario and I and Amy and Dan went through the list. They're getting the proposals together to get Dan to get to the contractors.
Right, to get formal pricing
Yeah.
so that we can execute deduct change orders to the trades. So Dave gave you the big picture. Again, the GMP is the document that holds us at risk, right? So this is the document that represents our total construction cost contract with the city. So one thing to emphasize is we had a phase 1 GMP. This supersedes that. It's not in addition to, but inclusive of the total project. So when you look at the bottom line here, that's the total construction cost to ONG that then enters into Ed's total project, which includes all of the soft cost side of the project and gets to the project referendum amount.
Ed, has this been reviewed by your council? Shipment a good one. All the attachments and exclusions are sort of numerous pages.
Yeah. Plus, I've gone through it and.
Didn't go down without a fight. Yeah.
And I also shared with Slam as well, so that they had opportunity to see, because there's a couple of little things in the documents that, that we took exception to that, we wouldn't find in a typical front end, but was included in the O1 requirements in Slam's front end. Very minor items regarding numbers of copies of documents and, what's included is the as-built survey of what we install, not of the total property. That type of thing.
Gary, you had a question?
The contingency, is that your contingency or ours? You keep it.
That's
It's your money. So
Okay,
it's all-
okay.
there's no saving, there's no,
Right. We have our own contingency, which is about 3.3 million.
but any of that unspent is returned to the.
Right, just to let you know, of the first project, they had contingency of 94,000, which will be returned to us
In phase one.
in phase one. Yeah,
Thank you.
And guarantee you, we're not gonna be able to return 100% of the phase two contingency.
No, I didn't.
Well, I just want to make sure Ed here got what you want.
Doesn't matter if we're here.
Line there, we already returned $500,000.
He'll still fight for it, Dave.
Huh?
He'll still fight for
He
it.
will, he will.
it's, we do have disagreements, but it's, again, the project is moving forward. And we have a great team that's working on it, and we have a great building committee that always tries to, not tries, they, what do we say? Oversight.
Yes.
Yes.
I have no question.
Yeah.
More-
Yeah.
I wasn't here for the, let out of the asbestos removal, but is that a fixed price or is that some?
Fixed price.
It is.
It's price.
Some.
That's some fixed price.
Yeah.
Not anything else shows up though?
No, everything's considered hot.
We're gonna, probably, we already arranged, but we haven't had a date yet. Amy and I are gonna go through the building and just tag some of the things that are movable that we can still keep, that it's ours, so we're gonna go through that.
Yeah. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, because there's some stuff that's, that's in good shape, that's movable. We want to take all the movable stuff, nothing that's, I'm not ripping out anything, Even though my son, when the Atlanta Braves left, he ripped out a couple of the chairs, but
Yeah.
he wanted to rip out a toilet seat. I said, "Hey, no, listen."
That's,
So the board will need to look at that because we actually have a policy on how we have to dispose of things.
Oh, okay,
So you'll have to let us know what's.
yeah,
what it should be.
Sure. Well, I'd love to get a copy of the policy.
Yeah, we
first.
can talk
Yeah,
about
that'd be,
okay.
because we actually had to have a subcommittee when we consolidated elementaries because of that reason, so.
yeah, we just don't want anything to go to waste,
No,
if it's
Yeah.
usable.
We also have some people interested in some things.
Yeah.
So I think we gotta look at the whole thing,
We
but
also
not in
need
building
to,
committee.
we also need to go through central office.
So can I have a motion to accept ONG's guaranteed maximum price of $150,988,625.
Karen moved.
Gary, second.
Second.
Pat. Further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Board of Ed?
Same motion to the Board of Education.
So moved.
All those in favor?
John and Kathy.
Thank you.
Next one is phase one, the application and certificate of payment. The total is $773,746. I have to break it up for the city, just so on two different purchase orders. So ONG's payment is $72,887. Fuji's payment is $700,859. So building committee can have a motion to approve. Pat? Second, on. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Okay. Next one. It's a little story behind the next one. Kerma, as you know, is the insurance holder for workers' comp and the LAP, which is the liability. We received a quote from Kerma of $818,000. I said, well, said to Mario, I don't think we're gonna pay 818,000. Sent a note off. The mayor was very very understanding. Let's do it. They sent another quote down. 699,000. Okay. I sent them another letter. They sent another quote down. 550,000. So I said to the mayor, I'm gonna go out and get pricing from Zurich, Travelers, Chubb. We met with the mayor, Mario and I met with the mayor and Corporation Council. They agreed with the builder's risk policy to Zurich for $387,634.
What was that number?
387,634. From the first thing was saved over $400,000. So,
Is that under budget or not? I don't know.
yeah, we're gonna sit. I kept on moving the budget, when it's 818, I put it in there. Wait.
Oh, okay.
So, so when
That's a crazy number.
yeah, so when the last one was 550, I put it in the budget, put this one in, so whatever that difference was went to contingency, our contingency.
And
Need a
the-
motion for that?
and the
Yes, have a
policy-
motion to
Can I-
approve.
can I just ask a
Yeah.
question first? And the policy is apple for apples or?
Ours is, this one's much
Oh,
better.
it's better. Okay.
They had more questions.
Better than here.
The question was about the gym. The gym is, they're saying it's a renovation,
Reuse.
reuse. And they're gonna do that. Nobody else asked about that because, so they're the only ones that are ensuring that at top value.
Right.
Yeah, and they have other things that they're ensuring higher value than anybody else. They're going to 160 million. Everybody else was going less than that. Yeah, so,
But they did a thorough review. We gave them some extra information
Right,
and the
correct,
summary
that's
and then the square footage breakout.
they did the homework. It's Brown and Brown,
Yes.
was the one.
Did a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, and the mayor was happy and so was
How can you not be, right?
yeah, and so was Corporation Council. We had a couple of questions with, they really, Brown and Brown, the fellow who was there really did an excellent job. on,
Very good. Yeah.
They went over everything, any questions and so forth. So we'll need a motion from the building committee and the board, because I'm going to city council Monday. They're going to approve this too. So have a motion from the building committee to approve the Builders policy to Zurich Insurance for $387,634. Pat. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
Same motion to the Board of Education.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Next one is the proposed change order as per city engineer. You may want to talk about this one.
Okay, so we reviewed with Ed and Mario, the changes that we were presented with when we went to move forward with the project initially in July. The initial project had a crosswalk out on Winthrop Street, and then when we met to talk with the engineers at the city to get their final approval to move forward, the police department had a suggestion not to go that route, that they had looked at the alternative of providing street parking. This, you may recall this conversation from several months back. So that's where the change issue started. So they're actually in the process now of restriping.
They did it
Street.
today.
Yeah, they finished it today.
Yeah.
And so that was part of it, not a huge part of it. The other items that were picked up by the city engineer in final approval of the temporary parking lot included a relocation, an additional crosswalk striping, the relocation of a couple of Jersey barriers that were in that parking area, installation of some extra bollards for street protection, for pedestrian protection, and to identify the crosswalk better now that that sidewalk section gets impacted by the size of the parking area. Just for clarity, there is a portion of this cost for the crosswalk that we added at the top of Major Bessie Drive. It just happened to be in the same proposal request. And so we tore out some concrete and we changed, added a formal crosswalk at the top of Major Bessie. That cost is also in here.
They also restripe Major Bessie. If you go up this, this 2-lane.
Yeah, there's some signs in this.
Yeah.
In this proposal. It was a catch-all at the beginning of the project. There's some additional signage for the elementary or preschools and then visitor parking areas that are also part of that change.
On the street parking, who is that designated for? Is it city parking or our parking or?
It's for the pond,
With the car.
patrons, right? Yeah,
I think it's for the park. It's right in front of the park.
right. 12 spaces.
12 spaces.
So it's 12 in addition to all those spaces in the temporary?
Yeah.
Correct,
Right.
that's 26 and 12.
26 and 12.
And to my knowledge, there's no designated user. They're just an
They're not-
additional
they're not
available
marked.
space.
Yeah.
Public parking.
They're really used in the afternoon for the parents who are picking up the kids.
Right.
That'll walk all the way down there.
Yeah.
Picked up. Yep.
I just don't want them to get ticketed.
Yeah, no,
Well, now they won't.
yeah. And the 26 spaces have been painted. And they're gonna hopefully
And we got a couple of bollards to install and then open that lot.
open that lot. So it's all done. Marion, I approve this. Can I just have a motion from the building committee to approve PCO number 2 for 13,136?
Can I just say one thing real quick?
Yeah.
About
Yeah.
the parking on the street? About, I pulled up to see what, there's gonna be a sightline problem, but that's not your problem. But the 7th and 8th graders crossing are between cars. I don't know why the city's doing this, but it could be a real problem. With not high school kids too, but
Right.
I mean, cars parked like that, a kid darts out from between those cars.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna see him.
Yeah.
But I know it's not your,
We didn't
it's not
want,
our
we
choice,
didn't want
but
it, and
it's a hazard.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I think it's also a hazard if somebody whips open the driver's door.
yeah,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to pull out.
yeah.
I don't get it.
Remember, we wanted to add another where the skate park was
I know.
gonna be. Remember, we put that in, everybody said, yeah, we want it. And then that was gone, so.
They forgot.
Yeah, that's it.
We still have that pricing as an alternate.
Yeah,
Never gonna happen.
never gonna happen, never gonna happen. So who said?
Can I just one more thing? though?
Yeah, no problem.
If in the end, there is money left over, could we at least consider some sort of crossing signal there? To protect the 7th and 8th grade, the kids, because they're gonna be jumping.
Give me like a
across this-
plunger for a walk.
Yeah, if we have enough money, left, because it's gonna be dangerous there.
Where are you suggesting?
Well, the kids are coming
You know,
down the sidewalk.
Hit it to walk. type of thing.
On Major
Um,
Bessie?
They
Right.
couldn't just.
No, not on Major Bessie. I'm
Well, they're
with,
gonna go Major Best to the street. So what's it
Gary,
called?
am I correct?
North Allen or Winthrop Street,
Oh, when-
but there's a sidewalk on the other side of the street.
Yeah, kids
Yeah.
that wanna
So
cross.
there's
well,
gonna
we
be-
had a crosswalk in there.
Yeah.
No,
But-
I'm saying that's, I understand, you're right.
Well, the crosswalk
your
is down
fault.
by the pool.
Yeah, there's
Right.
one lower down below.
Right. They asked us to move the location. We did because of sightlines. So hopefully,
Now we got cars parked there.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is what it is. We didn't do it.
And we may end
Well,
up
we did
having to
what we were
put somebody down.
asked.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to see, or
Okay.
at least at the beginning,
It's a wide street too.
right?
It's not like it's 2 lanes.
That's
where
why they added
they've
it.
had
Yeah.
blinking lights, so,
Right.
so that it helps.
There's a lot of possibilities, just as a thought.
So who made a motion? I'm sorry. Yeah, on second,
Second, any second.
second, Robin.
Might as well do something.
Uh,
My name and-
any changes? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
1 second. I want to address something to
I'm
ONG.
Yeah.
Part of it, it's peanuts, obviously, in the big picture, but if I remember correctly, they charge us like $1,800, $1,900 for 3 stop signs. Okay, I called the city pays $175 a piece.
Installed?
No, not installed, but I think the line item that you sent us, and you'll have to check it, showed material on one and then labor down below, I thought.
Not on that particular item. No, that's a unit price that was carried in the contract. Yeah, it's a high unit price. but he was allowed to bill at the unit rate that he had in his contract. Our $695 cost is is material and labor.
No, the contractor's providing and
Oh,
installing it. The city buys it for $175.
Just the material.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was under the impression, and I'd have to check, and I obviously take you to your word, that the materials were all listed above, labor down below.
Right, but there was no labor associated with that. That work is actually subcontracted to a vendor, so it's the vendor's unit cost.
Are they set in concrete?
Yeah.
Are they set in
Yeah.
concrete post? Yeah, so it might be. It's not an easy job to install.
We can do better going forward.
Yeah.
We got a
That's
good
what we're
contract
looking
with that guy.
And one other thing,
You try your hand at it, Mario. See how-
I'm ready.
Yeah, we
the
all
guy
have
who
shovels.
installs that can't sell commercial real estate.
We all have shovels now.
We each have our call.
Did you keep those?
Dan, also all this line striping that occurred today, unless somebody else is doing it, they forgot to do that. Curb where we were having trouble, people stepping off the curb.
No, that's the sec, that's not
That's
in
somebody
that
else.
proposal. That's not in this proposal. It's in your daily drive.
Okay. Got it.
Where's that, Mark?
Where the kids, where the kids, I'm talking athletic buses now, regular buses, they step everywhere, but where everybody steps on the curb to go to the stadium.
Yep.
McKenna's had a few people stumble and trip because the black pavement,
Very much.
black sidewalk and a black
Yeah,
curb.
yeah, see, yeah.
And then at night looks all
Yeah.
black.
That's why we painted
Yeah.
by the Sugar Shack white.
Uh-huh.
Remember, so the kids, nobody goes over the curbing, but now we have to do around.
What else is in that package, Dan? The second one?
The daily drive,
Yeah,
it's the daily drive gate,
Oh,
It's
the gate.
the gate and
okay, gotcha.
can we do some changes to
Yeah,
the
we
lighting?
creating the teardrop island.
And there's a little spraying up, there's a little painting on there as well.
We're gonna paint that curb yellow as well
Okay.
at the splitter island.
Yeah.
If you ever go back to where Daily Drive is, what a difference does it look? You know, compared to what it was 20, 32 years ago. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm gonna get stuck in
6
that
months
gate
ago.
back there.
4 months. ago.
I just have two other things too, if I can just.
Yeah.
So we are going to incur an extra 27,000 in snow plowing costs because of their requirement to fence in that area. So now the snow has to be taken out of there rather than plowed up
Mhm.
as it typically is. So the board talked about it at budget last night. We're bringing it to the full board for the board to pick that up. But there is really no way around it because of that fencing requirement. And then we've also had a lot of inquiries about where the temporary parking fell out. So maybe for the next meeting, if we can just get it on the record, how we ended up with how many staff parking, how many student parking. Just so that everyone's on the same page as to what the temporary parking lot ended up being, so that the public is aware.
So we can give a total, but I think I would need to look to the school administration, Brian, or about how many parking spaces were given to the students. Or designated for the students,
Yeah.
if you want the breakout. But we can provide to you the total.
We can share that. Comment,
Great.
how could it be an increase in the plowing if we reduce the
Mhm.
the footage, the square footage of the area that needs to be plowed?
I gotta move all the snow.
They have
Yeah, they
to-
gotta move it, but
They have to
you,
take it all out. So before they used to
Right.
just push
I
it.
understand that there would be a cost saving, but why would there be an increase in the cost? Why wouldn't it?
It's smaller area.
Right, right, I understand that, but you're still shrinking the footprint of the snow that has to be removed.
But it's equipment,
But it's that much
manpower,
more,
so in
yeah.
the
That
old
much more that
lot,
they have to drag in,
because they can't do
Yeah.
the
what,
trucks, they're
payloaders
using.
and they have. to-
Right, right. And to be able to do the other schools also at the same time,
Okay,
because they have to. do
My suggestion was,
all of
was the
them.
building committee out of the contingency, they pick up that 27,000.
We don't have enough money for
You can
that.
mull that over.
We just did.
Yeah, I know you don't. Think about it more.
I did.
Think harder. You have no money, so you only have snow.
Get your shovels out.
Well, what are we gonna do? That's only
Pretty reasonable.
that's a year, right?
Maybe it'll be a like.
2 years?
2 years.
We have to pay, it's a set price, so we have to either agree to pay it or not,
Oh,
so,
really? No matter what?
When do you guys have to pull the
Well,
trigger?
you
on
can
that?
do it hourly. It's a little bit more.
at our meeting next week. In case it starts to, because right now, if the snow starts to blow, we're not,
So that's a lump sum contract.
So we'll let
So-
you- we'll let you off easy.
Well, yeah, but you could roll the dice and hope no snow comes, but
As long as you pay.
Or else you do it by,
by, yeah, by storm.
So that's the roll of dice, but
you know,
The other part of that too is, I guess, the facilities guy said that because the way the parking lot is, it kind of slopes to the middle. So if there is a little bit of snow, it's gonna melt or run to the middle, and then when it gets cold, it freezes again. So he's anticipating more ice melt being required because everything's running to the middle.
That's interesting.
The
We,
new- no.
doesn't it run off the side where we have
There's a
the
continuous
pervious pavement?
east to west pitch on that lot.
Yeah. It doesn't, it
that's-
doesn't
I'm
go
just
to the middle.
regurgitating what our facility.
Yeah,
is.
Oh, so yes,
Don't let them charge you
Done.
extra for that, because it's not
Right.
true.
yeah.
No, well, it is true, but the pervious pavement is not gonna drain anything, it's gonna freeze.
right, but it's on the,
Right, but the whole,
That's on the
the
western
whole
end.
parking
But
lot.
it
sheets
sheets
to
off.
one
though.
side.
So,
Right,
so it's not permeating through the end of it, but it should sheet flow off it.
but if you look at the catch basin in the middle, it looks like it's gonna, some of it's gonna shoot. If it builds up on the sides,
What catch basin are you?
or there's something in the middle of the parking lot. Is it a catch basin? What is that?
No.
my,
Mm-mm.
my recollection is that is a uniform slope from east to west.
Yeah.
From where the school is over
Uh-huh.
toward where the
Towards the ball
field is.
fields. Catch basins, so it goes impervious pavement to a section of pervious pavement to which would absorb a certain amount of the flow of water. If there's more water than that can take, then it continues westerly and it hits the curb line, and there's inlet structures along, thank you, Dave. Inlet structures along the western edge.
Right, but as it goes to those inlet structures, I'll go up tomorrow, but you're gonna have freeze up on your pervious. I have pervious pavers, lots of places, but if we don't clean them out and they fill up with sand, you're gonna have snow sitting inside some of the pavement gaps. It's gonna build up, and when it gets a little warm, it's gonna thaw. And some of it will run off. It'll just be some sheets heading from east to west or whatever, going to the pickup area. That's the concern of any sheet flow. You're gonna, the whole parking lot is gonna sheet one direction.
Right, that's
Right,
It's got a
that's-
very it's like 1.25%
Correct.
across that thing.
Yeah. So. It's not, they're gonna have to sand it. They're gonna have to just lay down the salt.
Yes,
It's
certainly the bus loop is the highest probability of having some
Yeah.
ice conditions.
Depends on the weather and time of day.
We certainly can't move the fence
No, that's.
because people will be driving through the poles and,
yeah.
you know, it'll be a free for all.
Yeah.
Some lady almost killed me today coming the other way. No, I know. Yeah, I know. Now, we had those swinging gates in there, right? Periodically, a couple, I think.
There's three 20-foot gates too, so that they can accumulate snow, push it from the main parking lot into the bus loop portion.
Yeah,
But then from there, you would either truck it off, or move it all up beyond the stockpile of topsoil and off into the.
That would be important to note to that contractor though, who's giving you pricing, that 3 panels are swinging. So they
Right.
could push.
Yeah,
this.
no, he's aware of
Okay.
that, but they still. So the swingers aren't on the interior fencing,
They're on the
between
it's in the
parking lot-
exterior, so they still have to get it out of that interior. I went and looked at it today
Yeah,
just to get a better
but they could push it,
understanding.
theoretically, they could push it through those gates. From the inside to the outside.
Yes.
No,
The
gates are big enough. You ever see the big loader that they use?
They would never do that.
Uh,
They wouldn't be able to get
They have a
it through.
huge loader that he used to clean the lower lot. I don't know
Yeah.
if he's planning on using that same thing, but I don't think. it's
Yeah,
like-
no, I got you. I think those gates are better suited for,
A car.
pickup plot.
Or go-
Like a big
Plot.
His loader's not gonna. fit.
So, I mean, it
It is
is
what
what
it
it is, but.
Right, it's definitely more difficult to
Yeah.
remove.
Yeah, and I also think we also have the added thing that every vehicle is coming down that big hill now.
Yeah.
So that is a little different than coming out the flat way if it's snowing, during the day. While we're at school before we do a dismissal.
16-year-old driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, with 2 big curves down a hill. So, I mean, it's the cost of doing business.
Uh,
Do we have that motion?
first,
Didn't we have a motion going?
No,
no,
Just a discussion.
We were talking about motions.
Hold on a
I
second.
think we.
On this, on the change order, we already voted for that?
yeah,
We already voted for that one.
payment of invoices, the first one from Slam, 59,676.31. Have a motion to approve. Armand, second. Pat. Any discussion? All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Next one, this is Slam, ONG's last pre-construction payment of $17,246. Have a motion to approve.
so moved.
Leona, second.
Kathy.
Kathy. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye, opposed? The next one is to reimburse ONG for the state permit fees. We couldn't get a check in time for them, so ONG paid them the $24,103.68. This is automatic by the state that we have to pay 26 cents on the dollar
Per thousand,
per thousand.
for $1,000.
Right.
So moved.
Leona, second.
Second.
Second. Any discussion?
Thank you.
All in favor? Aye, opposed, okay. Do we need again? Ellen, help me. You go in executive session,
Yeah, you need a motion.
Were you
Entertain a
invited?
motion to go into executive session, inviting in.
inviting in the Board of Ed, Sue F. And that's it, just the Board of Ed.
Sue L.
Sue L.
Whatever.
Whatever.
I'm not wearing glasses, I can't see anything.
You
Okay,
gotta specify for what it's for.
yeah, for possible executive session regarding negotiations again.
Okay.
Okay,
So moved.
so move.
Everybody else is done?
Everybody else is done.
We need a second.
Second.
Before the OG guys leave, can I ask a couple questions?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We had a couple of things come up in subcommittees, and one was a piece of equipment for the music department. And if we needed a change order for electrical in the music room, what would be the last, like? Where's the timeline of, hey, we gotta tell the electrician that we're gonna have a change?
It's a musical instrument, cleaning machine.
The cleaner requires
Needs,
208 volt appliance.
It's like a dryer.
There's a deadline for anything that's in the slab, and then there's a deadline for something that's wall mounted. So do you know if the power
It's not
would
long.
be, it would be a floor box, which are kind of problematic. We try to
No,
avoid them if
it's
we
a-
can.
The power would be. What they said was it would attach to the,
It'd be a wall mount.
Hardwired to the machine?
It's a Walmart plug.
It
though.
sounds like it would be
Like a
similar to a dryer.
Dryer.
Yeah.
Dryer plug.
A dryer plug.
208 twist lock type thing.
You know, just off the cuff, you have until about March.
March. Okay.
okay.
And the other question I had, FF&E. Is network switches and stuff like that in FF&E, or is that gonna be in?
The network
2.27.
switches are part of what's called technology.
Okay.
It's called phase 3 of your project. So outside of what is base building construction technology, which is all of your data jacks and your structured cable. In our construction contract, we construct the racks.
Yep.
And that's pretty much how far we go. We put in the patch panels. And then the technology package buys out your actual switches.
Is that 2.27?
So what's that?
Would that be 2.27?
No, that's
in there?
actually phase 3 and hasn't gone out on the street.
Okay.
That'll be part of Amy's next project. She's gonna move into FF&E and technology.
And that would include
Probably
switches
like
and
a
network
6
infrastructure
months
stuff?
right here from now. It would.
Okay.
Right, they try to do it early, but not too early, and then I push them for, it needs to be coordinated, I need to make sure that
Right.
it's
We
not
back
holding
it
me
up from when we want them installed, but we also want to kind of wait until as late as possible, so we have the most up to date. You don't want to specify something that's then
Generation tool.
the newer model comes out every year,
Yeah,
technology, as you know.
you know, I understand what I'm saying, right? We don't want to buy it twice.
No, you're certainly not buying twice because.
No, there was
it's so-
another subcommittee meeting about upgrading some things for the high school. And part of that is network switches. And if we're gonna upgrade the old school, it's gonna be ripped down and we're gonna move it to the new school, but if it's already, switches are included in this package that we're gonna be buying.
Well, so we
kind of
haven't,
need to know.
we haven't ordered them yet.
No, I
so-
understand that,
so
but
you
we need to
could-
know whether we want to exclude them or not.
Well, one thing.
I think we got an answer over here.
I think you may be referring to the tech readiness of the other buildings to align to the. I think we call it the infrastructure readiness to align to the new building.
Mhm.
So that means bring the other schools, not specifically the high school, but everything else up to speed. So we'll be able to interface with technology that's gonna go into the new building. When it comes to network switching, nothing will be purchased twice. And once we get to that point, we'll meet with Agostino and everybody else and.
So the high school is on that list. That's the one that jumped out at me. The high school is on that list. Okay.
And just one thing, if there are some things in high school, what I would caution you is that. Not to put something new in the high school thinking that you're gonna move it over to the
Yeah.
new school, because we're gonna need redundancy in services for a period of time.
Right.
So you're not, both buildings are gonna have to run
Be running.
simultaneously, so
Gonna
you can't
function.
take something
in
from
parallel
the
for a
functioning
while.
school and put it in the new, because. You'll be without it in the existing school.
Okay, thank you.
Because network switches run things like the mechanical system too, so you want to get those installed and up and running even before. the-
Litigation, security.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
That's okay. I got one.
Okay,
I'm seeing the cameras up.
Yes, may I?
Yeah, please.
So.
If you could tell us where is this mounted and,
Absolutely. I've been waiting for that.
also it's on 22.
Yeah,
You go on
There was
22.
an image yesterday, though.
Yeah.
well, we fixed that since.
Yeah.
It moves now.
You can see Route 8 cars going.
yeah, I'm looking at them right now.
There's not a
Traffic is
lot of
light.
excitement that you
our-
can see
our
the turf
homepage.
field with the
Uh,
clearing you guys have done when you're coming up winter.
Oh, yeah?
We've been talking a lot about that,
Okay.
how it looks like a Friday Night Lights stadium now.
So from the homepage, when you go to building project,
Oh, that was a nice picture of me.
and every picture is a nice picture.
Oh.
He put his glasses on.
Yeah.
So we have a link up here to live construction again, and that is your live shot.
So where is that camera?
The camera is on the side of the chip. And it has multiple sensors, so there's multiple angles. As I'm going through this, I'll be changing the programming options because, I mean, as nice as it is to look at, I'm going to take advantage of the streaming that we do have and kind of intersplice building project updates, the pictures, maybe even the video of the groundbreaking, and kind of alternate all that with the with several views of the live stream.
So that camera moves.
It does not.
Oh, it
It
doesn't.
is one single camera that has 4 sensors. It has 4 different angles on it.
Okay, so can you pick up the work that's going on now, which is to the right of that?
Yes.
Because that's where they're digging and pouring when tomorrow,
Yeah,
right?
tomorrow.
I think it's kind of, can you tilt it up more?
Yeah.
I'll have to.
Right, we're picking up a lot of that.
I'll have to ask John for that and see if they can move it up a little bit. But let me look at the other angles. Find them, hold up. I don't have those live, I have to wait for something else for that, but I'll show you all the angles we got.
Yeah, we really, that's really nice for people in the city to be able to go in and look at.
Maybe Tim Gaffney can put something about that, just so people
Mhm.
are aware
Yeah.
that it's there.
Yep, absolutely. Well, if Allison gets me a link somehow, I'll spread it all over.
No, you.
I will. Do what I gotta do. Yeah, now we're getting closer,
So that
right?
one's to the right, there's nothing beyond that.
No, that's okay. Am I missing it? Where is it?
Quite see it.
You can't
Do
see.
we overshoot it? Or is it tucked behind that corner there?
It's a little bit to the left. You can start to see the darkened area.
Yeah.
Oh, that right there.
Yeah.
Left?
That is the beginning of what is the lower level
Yeah.
foundation.
Wow.
And tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, the trucks will start coming to for their thing, for their cement, concrete, sorry.
Seeing
The
that,
kids know we have this good outdoor footage now.
Well,
that's
so
clear.
that's not a view
Yeah,
that we
clear.
would have to use. I don't know if you feel about taking this view and sharing that 24/7. Up to you.
No, we don't need to.
We can do this one and we can do this one and alternate between
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, and if you could get them to tip it up so we're not collecting so much of that sidewalk.
Right,
Yeah.
there's so,
Yeah.
so much lost real estate there.
Right.
I'll talk to John and
Okay.
see if he can call the vendor, just have him move it up a little bit.
Beautiful.
Okay,
So it's gonna be where? On the website
On the
already?
website.
it's on the website, channel
Yeah, go to,
22.
go to building committee, live camera, and it is always on on channel 22, an optimum during our
Beautiful.
regular.
Yeah.
scheduled times.
Who does the Instagram stuff for the high school?
Barb BB.
Barb?
Yeah, she's.
I gotta
she
get
would-
that alumni day information to her, or maybe you can.
Well, yeah, if you send it. to me.
Yeah.
ONG sent me the pictures of the groundbreaking, so I'll send it to everybody tomorrow, okay? Beautiful pictures of everybody.
They are also on the building Instagram. So I can show you that.
Because you can hear
I
the
think she's been posting it.
just the pictures, but on the Instagram, you can hear the
Yeah.
the
I saw
choir.
it.
I'll show you
Nice
that.
job.
Yeah.
They did a nice job.
Mhm.
Oh, the choir's on a video.
Yeah.
We have the video posted right to the homepage.
Okay. Let me show you this.
Oh, sure.
Is that the addition one again?
Oh, yes. This is some of this. This-
Oh, great.
Yeah, and then with the rest hopefully tomorrow. Okay.
She's a member of the Torrington University Alumni Club page on Facebook.
Okay,
She could grab it from there.
Okay, I don't know. I'll ask her tomorrow, but
Okay.
somebody's been posting it because I've seen it on social media.
Yeah, I posted it everywhere, except I'd like to get it on the Instagram.
okay. See you guys tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock.
Thank you very much.
Now you- yeah.
We can make
See you
it-
guys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All in favor?
All in favor?
No.